All right, test test 1 2 1 2. Hey, just want to do a quick audio test. If anybody's watching the chat, if you can just drop in the chat a quick thumbs up or a yes if you can hear me. Um, then we'll go ahead and get started after a few seconds, and we'll go ahead and talk about the Lakers W tonight. All right, we'll just give it a few more seconds here before we get started. Um, just want to make sure everything's working properly. Make sure my audio is good. Make sure you guys can hear me okay. Um, Big win tonight. We're just going to kind of go over some of the stats a little bit, break down the game, kind of how things went. And honestly, we'll just kind of open it up there. If you guys have any questions or anything you want to bring up in the chat, feel free, man. This is all everything Lakers, man. So just feel free. Hey, all right. Appreciate you, Mark. You break that. I got you. All right. So, I mean, hopefully we'll get some more people trickling in. But in the meantime, let's just go ahead and get it started. First and foremost, for those of you who are watching, I definitely appreciate you joining in. Big win tonight. The Lakers tonight face the Timberwolves in their season opener. As you guys already know, the Timberwolves are a major contender. They made the conference finals last year. And, you can kind of make a debate that they got better. Obviously with the trade in the offseason, they sent Cat over to New York. But they got Julius Randle in return, but they also got Dante DiVincenzo, which I think is a nice addition. DiVincenzo, he can do pretty much anything from the guard position. He can shoot, he can play defense, he can play make. So I think in that aspect they got better. They did lose some size on the interior with Cat going to New York, but at the end of the day, this is still a team to look out for. And for this to be our opening matchup, to walk away with a W, and this is our first W since I believe like 2016. So I mean, this is really good news. This is awesome. We finished obviously the victory 110 to 103. Let's take a look at these stats, man. I mean, first and foremost, we got to talk about the elephant in the room. LeBron James and Bronny Davis, they also got a first rounder. That's actually true. Yeah, good call, Mark. They got a first rounder for that too. So I mean, the Wolves definitely made out with that trade for sure. I think they're gonna miss Cat, but I think Julius Randle, he's gonna pick up the pace. And they're going to be okay heading into the postseason, man. They're going to pick it up. But heading back to the Lakers, man, 110, 103. And Bronny James, LeBron, they made history tonight officially. They were on the court together in preseason, but at the same time, it's preseason. So to start the regular season, they were both on the court. They made history as the first father-son duo to play in the NBA. It was a special moment, man. But let's get into the stats. So Anthony Davis, monster night. Absolutely monster night. He had an MVP performance. And if this is any indication of how he's going to play for the remainder of the season, we're going to be all right. We're definitely going to be good. So 36 points, 16 rebounds. I love the way how AD was locked in from the free throw line. I mean, he shot 13 of 15, just under 50% from the field, but I'll take it. I mean, that's still an efficient night. Again, when you drop 36 and 16, Anything that's close to 50%, I'll take it. We'll go down the line. Rui Hachimura. I was actually impressed with Rui Hachimura tonight. I've been very vocal about how, I like Rui, but if he was involved in a trade if we were to land that kind of all-star / star player in the roster, I wouldn't necessarily be mad about it. I'm a big fan of Vando, but Rui Hachimura impressed me tonight. He was very aggressive. He finished with 18 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 50% from the field, which we like. Like to see a little bit better percentage from 3, but to be honest, the entire team didn't shoot very well tonight. As a team, we shot, my goodness, we shot less than 20% from 3. So I'll give Rui a pass on that. There was some other history tonight too. What was the other history, Mark? What was the other history, Mark? I ain't even gonna say another word until you say something. What was it? What was the history, bro? Because I already know what you're talking about. If there's anybody else in this chat, bear with me, all right? Because Mark, for full context, I know Mark, and he said, let's go. Let's just say he's not for the purple and gold, all right? So we'll leave it at that. Goodness. He's referring to the Celtics blowing out the Knicks tonight and them almost breaking the record for most threes in a regular season game, if I'm not mistaken. They hit 29 and the record was 30. So we'll leave it at that. Mark, thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate it. Let's get back to the Lakers. But again, Rui Hachimura, he was very impressive tonight. 18 points, like I said. He's just super aggressive and good on the boards. That was a big thing. That was a big hiccup for him last year. Defensive rebounds, he's got 2. But we wanted to see him be more active on the boards last year. And it looks like we're starting off on a good foot this year. So I'd like to see that. LeBron, but Cat want to talk about the blonde-haired fools. This guy's a D-Lo hater. I'm not necessarily mad about it, to be honest. But we'll get into D'Angelo Russell a little bit later. But LeBron James, I don't know if it's just me, but just watching him tonight, he seemed very passive. Like he wasn't, I don't know. He kind of really emphasized picking his spots. I think I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to get some of his teammates involved. But at the end of the day, out of starting 5, he's the only one that was in a minus. Everybody else, AD +1, Rui +19, D'Lo +15, AR +12, with LeBron at a -6. So at the end of the day, he did finish with 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. We like to see that. 2 turnovers. Not a big fan of that, but 1 of 4 from 3. Not a very efficient night from LeBron, but it is what it is, man. We got the W, so we'll take it at this point. D'Lo. Look, man, I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm one of those guys that believes D'Lo should not be here. I'm just gonna keep it straight up with you guys. And if anybody's listening, man, if you can do me a favor so far, if you're liking the stream, man, go ahead and drop that like button. Full disclosure, as you can tell by my subscriber count, I don't have a huge following yet. I'm still trying to build my community. I'm doing the best I can to bring the best content possible, but like I said, I don't have a face cam even, so I'm doing the best I can. But trust me, I'm going to stay consistent. I'm going to keep working hard. So eventually I'm going to get a full setup here, and then we'll be able to bring some awesome content for you guys. But I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and, join the community, man, because I'm telling you, I got a ton of content coming your way. But anyway, D'Angelo Russell. Man, he was a +15. Let's start there. 9 points. He did have 5 assists, only 1 turnover, which we like. 1 of 7 from 3. 4 of 12 from the field. I mean, look, man. I'm gonna give him some credit here. He was showing some pretty decent effort defensively. He's never gonna be like this great defender. We know that, but I did see him compete defensively, which is good. But let's keep it real. The reason why D'Angelo Russell's on this team is because of this: his shooting, his scoring, and his playmaking. His playmaking wasn't too bad tonight. But the first thing I think of, and I'm sure a lot of you Lakers fans, you think of the same thing. We think of last year's playoffs. And it's like, oh, here we go again. The same D'Lo that's kind of up, down, up, down. It's like he has good game, bad game. He has a good game, bad game. He'll have a stretch of 5 games where he's hot. He'll have a stretch of 6 games where he can't hit, the side of a house. I like D'Lo. I really do, man. I think he has talent. I think he's skilled. But I'm going to put it to you this way. I'm just going to keep it blunt. I don't believe D'Angelo Russell is a championship caliber player. Like, I'm sorry. I think he's really good to have. If you're looking for somebody to kind of get you through the regular season, he can have some good scoring output here and there. But at the end of the day, if you're looking to win a championship and D'Angelo Russell is your starting point guard, I have issues with that. I do. What should we do about it? We'll get into that a little bit later into the live stream, but let's continue with the rest of the team, man. Let's look at Austin Reeves. I liked Austin Reeves tonight. He was aggressive. He competed defensively. 9 rebounds. 9 rebounds from Austin Reeves. What is he, 6'4", 6'5" on a good day? And he had 9 rebounds. He was super aggressive on the boards. I like to see that. 4 assists. He was a plus 12 with 12 points. 0 of 5 from 3. He struggled shooting as well. But you love to see this, man. Those 9 rebounds, and they were crucial rebounds too, man. Just like he was fighting over big man, beating Rudy Gobert and Naz Reid to the boards. I like to see that from Austin Reeves, man. I was happy that he scored double-digit points. And it looks like, honestly, D'Angelo Russell was the only one in the starting 5 that didn't score double-digit points. So Austin Reeves, I was happy with him. The whole team, like I said before, didn't shoot very well. But in terms of effort and commitment to the defensive end and the boards, AR gets an A+ in my book. So we like to see that. Looking over to the bench, Jackson Hayes. I'm a big fan of Jackson Hayes, man. I am. I think he has so much energy. You can tell he has that youthful energy. He's encouraged. He wants to learn. He wants to get better. And look, 10 points, 4 or 5 from the field, super efficient. 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He didn't miss a free throw. 4 rebounds, no turnovers, 1 block. He had a few fouls. That's one thing that I think Jackson Hayes is still working on. I think he's gotten better at it, but it's still a weak spot. As a backup 5, you can't really be in that position to where you're fouling a lot. You know what I'm saying? So that's something Jackson Hayes still has to work on. He's got to keep those hands up. He's got to stay disciplined. But overall, I think he had a good game. Gabe Bitts is back. He had 2 points, but he didn't shoot a lot either. 1 of 2 from the field. Didn't really attempt any threes. I think with him, it's about getting him back into the system, getting him comfortable and working under JJ and kind of being alongside, Anthony Davis, LeBron, and Austin Reeves and so forth. Gabe Bitzer right now is focused on getting his legs back and making sure that he's comfortable in the system before we can really see what he can do. But I'm not going to lie. If Gabe Vincent was included in the trade, I wouldn't necessarily be mad about it. But like I said, we'll get to that a little bit later. Who's next? Max Christie. Max Christie, I'm a fan of Max Christie. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little biased towards him. I think he's super young, but he's got a ton of upside. And even today, he was a -5, but, he only played 11 minutes, 0 of 3 from the field. We would like to see him kind of knock down those shots. If he's going to have a more consistent role off the bench, he's got to be more efficient. We got to be able to count on him to make those shots when his number's called. But in the end, he did compete defensively. He had a couple of rebounds. So at the end of the day, a W's a W. Dalton Connect, man. Well, I'm sorry, excuse me. I just hopped right over Bronny James. Bronny James, he got his 3 minutes in. Like I said, he shared the court with LeBron. It was right before, if I'm not mistaken, it was right before halftime. It was in the second quarter, kind of like around that 5-minute mark, I believe. They checked in Bronny James and LeBron were able to have that special moment, man. So that was awesome. But, he didn't play very well. Or excuse me, he didn't play a lot. He was able to get a couple shots up, which is good. I would like to have seen that 3-pointer go in. When he shot it up, I was like, let's get in there. But it kind of rimmed out. So it is what it is. But it was good to see Bronny get out there for at least a few minutes and have that moment with LeBron. And then Dalton Connect. Man, Dalton Connect is a really strong candidate for Rookie of the Year this year. Like, no question. I mean, he lets that thing go. You know what I'm saying? I think it has a lot to do with JJ kind of giving him that green light, giving him that confidence. Like, listen, man, I know you're a shooter. I know you're a scorer. I know you can move off the ball. We just got to get you going. So him having that confidence to, again, just be able to just let it go whenever he has a good look, eventually those things are going to start falling. With Dalton Connect, I see him being kind of a 6-man type player for us. He could start eventually, depending on how his season goes. But again, we'll get into that a little bit later. So yeah, as a team, let's look at the team stats. Honestly, okay. Oh yeah. So here we go. All right. So again, not a very good shooting night. It's not. We shot less than 50% from the field, less than 45% from the field. Excuse me. An abysmal shooting night from 3. JJ makes it a point to get more 3-pointers up this year. 30 is not bad. I think he wants to see that closer to like 35 at least. But again, I still think for opening night, we got the W, and to shoot 30 and we only made 5, that's good enough. All right, let's hold our horses a little bit. 16% from 3, that's just, we're not that bad of a shooting team. We're not. Those are going to fall. My issue is I'm not sure how much better we are as a shooting team, which is why I do think ultimately we should make a trade for a shooter / scorer, that kind of perimeter guy that's just a bucket. You know what I mean? I think we still need that. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but I mean, the proof is in the pudding, man. So far, 5 of 30 is crazy. It looks like we're picking up off from last year, so that's not a good sign. Love this, man. 20 of 25 from the free throw line. That is amazing. As a team, man, shooting that high percentage from the free throw line is a really good sign. A really good sign. And I like that we had a decent amount of attempts as well. Even with JJ having to shoot that many threes, the fact that we're still getting to the bucket and being physical, that's really where, with this roster, that's kind of more or less where identity lies. We can't lose that physicality. I understand we want to get more 3-point shots up, but we can't lose that physicality. So these free throws, that was a really good sign. 84%, I'll take that any day of the week. Pretty even on rebounds, but, pretty even on rebounds. 47 to 46. We had 15 offensive rebounds to their 12. 31 defensive to their 35. So I would say it was a wash with the rebounds. We killed it in the first half. The second half is where we kind of fell off a little bit, and the Timberwolves were able to gain some ground on the boards. But overall, I would say it was a wash. Assists, we were up on assists, 22 to their 17. We had more steals, way more blocks. Love this, man. That lets you know that this team is bought in. Excuse me, guys. That's my air conditioning. Let me close this door. That'll be a little bit better. Yeah. 8 blocks to their 1. Love to see that, man. That defensive intensity is something that we really have to hang our hat on. If we're going to be able to put up threes and we want those shots to fall, as long as we maintain that defensive intensity, that lets you know that we're going to be in positions to be blowing teams out. Those are signs of elite teams that can score, they can shoot, but they do not lose that defensive intensity. We only had 7 turnovers to their 16. So not only did we have defensive intensity, but we had discipline. We protected the ball. Love to see that. 17 fast break points, 72 points in the paint to their 40. Bro, a lot of that was AD. I'm not going to lie. Again, 36 points. He was a monster on the boards. Jackson Hayes was getting busy in there a little bit too. But again, when we're shooting 20-plus free throws, you know that we were getting to the point. We're getting to the paint. So points in the paint was good, man. It was really good. Love to see that. Fouls, we were dead even on fouls, 22 to 22. Largest lead was 19. This is somewhat concerning, because I don't like the habit of losing leads. I understand this is basketball. It's very rhythm. It's very paced. But at the end of the day, man, you got to keep your foot on their neck, especially when you go up against these really good teams, because the Timberwolves could have easily came back, and they did. I believe it was in kind of late third quarter where they were able to close the gap to about 4 points. That makes me very uncomfortable, man, because, all last year, one of our biggest problems was our ability to finish games. And that went from the regular season into the postseason. So we can't have that, man. We gotta cut that out ASAP. But yeah, those are pretty much the stats that I have, man. One thing that I do want to touch on, pause before I let you guys go, is the my thoughts on the current roster. I'm very happy we got the W. I loved our rebounding, our physicality, our defense. We didn't shoot the ball well at all, which is why I still believe, and again, I'm going to die on this hill. Some of you, if you follow me, you already know how I feel about this, but we need to trade for Zach LaVine. That deal needs to get done. And honestly, in my opinion, the sooner the better. I think from a Lakers standpoint, they're like, hey, listen, we still got, Jared Vanderbilt out, Christian Wood out. I want to see them healthy. How do we look when our team is fully healthy? Which makes sense. And also, they kind of want to see a bit of a showcase from Zach LaVine. They want to see if he's going to stay healthy, if he's going to stay kind of sharp like he's been through all preseason. And, that's not my concern, though. I'm not worried about Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is a consistent bucket. He can score. He can shoot the 3. He got mid-range. He's good off the ball. He can handle the ball. He can create his own shot. When you're talking about offense, like an offensive scoring talent, Zach LaVine is about as good as it gets. that is not a concern. And I think that will help this team tremendously. Because if you think about it, you have Anthony Davis, you have LeBron James. Aside from those two, who is our designated third scoring option? How about one of them goes to the bench? If AD or LeBron go to the bench, who is our designated second scoring option? We don't have one. And yes, as a team, we didn't shoot well, but we noticed that even going back last year is that our offense still gets stagnant. Even tonight when we were running a lot of the sets that JJ was setting up for us. Shout out to JJ, by the way, because I think he did an excellent job coaching his first game. He got his first W as a coach officially, so that's awesome. But even then, you saw those stretches where our offense was just stagnant. We weren't getting the looks that we wanted. A lot of those looks weren't falling. Zach LaVine takes care of that problem, in my opinion. Not only is he comfortable off the ball, so he'll be good running sets, but when he's coming off those screens, he's catching, shooting from those threes, he's going to make them more often than not. And you can't say that about our current roster, at least not right now. And then even if the sets aren't working, who can create their own shot better than Zach LaVine? Only a handful of guys in the NBA, bro. And certainly nobody on this team that can create their shot on the perimeter as good or better than Zach LaVine. No way. So those are just my thoughts on it, man. That's pretty much all I got from you guys. Those of you that did join, I really appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, man. Make sure you subscribe. Join the community. I'm telling you, I got a ton of Lakers content coming your way. And your support would be greatly appreciated, man. I'm really looking forward to building this community. So those of you that are watching, those of you that are already subscribed, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We got a great win tonight. Shout out to the Lakers. We won our season opener finally for the first time in who knows how long. I think it's been 8 years or so. Anyway, it's been too long. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Go Lakers.